time for the Hennessy Performance League draft on F1. It's been a few months since we've done a stream in general. We did one last week for the championship race at Brazil. With me for this draft, we have Code Red Dew. Jake, welcome.
How's it going, buddy? How are you? Y'all, glad to get a chance to be here. It's been a while, but glad to get a chance to join you guys again.
Yeah, I'm glad you're going to be here. Next we have the Season 3 champion in the NASCAR Heat 5 League in the Xfinity Series. We have Tiger NASCAR. Tiger, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, so we have 10 picks tonight. The 10 teams will be as I will load into the game. The 10 picks will be in order. The the Mercedes of Masopes will have the first pick. AlphaTauri will be Mayhem. You will have the second pick, and then Electric Days will be the third pick. So that's how we will start this off. I will go to the showroom to show you guys the 10 teams here. But first, before we get into that, let's just recap on Season 2. We just had a very competitive season, to say the least. I was in it, Jake was in it for a few races, Tiger as well. Tiger, you were in the championship fight between you and Killer. How was it from your perspective throughout the season?
I think me and Killer are quite good friends, let's say. So it was, I think, a fair competition. There's definitely some good races that we had, some bad that we had. I think Russia was a good example of that. Yeah, it was overall a pretty good fight. It came down to the last race, which he ultimately beat me.
Yeah, I was on the McLaren team, so I was helping Killer. It was really big, not really rivalry between the McLaren and Aston Martins, but it was just like a friendly rivalry. McLaren was able to get the Constructors' Championship with Aston Martin right behind, as well as get the Drivers' Championship. Killer won that. That stream is on the channel below this video if you guys want to watch that crazy race. Killer had to really do some daring things. Same with Tiger to try and get that win and secure that title. But now, I mean, we're just going to go on with our first interview. We're going to go, Masopes is in here, I believe. He has the first pick. Masopes, like, what's the thought process? How did you, I'm sure your pick has already been made, but without telling everyone, how did you come to pick this driver? Okay. Masopes' audio cannot be shared, so.
And we're here.
If you guys can let us know in the chat if you can hear us.
I think it's on now.
Yeah, I believe he's selling. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
So going forward with that, no, I picked this driver. You know, I'm not going to reveal anything too much yet, but I picked this driver just through his talent on the track and the pace that he showed. I think he's very, very talented, and I think we have a good relationship off the track as well. As friends, I would say. And yeah, that's really it. I don't really want to reveal too much. I'm blessed to have the first pick, coming from somebody that I feel like, as myself, I'm really a midfield driver trying to get out of that midfield and get to the top tier, and you guys are definitely going to know this guy's a top tier driver, so can't wait to go ahead and make that pick.
Yeah, I believe there's a few names thrown out that we believe it's going to be, but we're just going to wait till it's confirmed itself. We also are joined by Electric Days. He owns the Alfa Romeo cars for Season 3. He was the Haas team last year. Electric, with you being pick 3, um, like, does your strategy change if the guy you want is taken already without telling us who you're gonna draft?
Well, I can just say that the person that I'm gonna draft is hopefully going to be able to keep their pace up. I mean, I've been able to see what they was able to do through the last races as soon as they came in. I was able to see what they was able to do and what they was able to accomplish. So I'm really going to be happy if they're going to be on the board. But if they're not, I always got somebody else in store. So playing mind games right now with people.
Okay. Jake, do you have anything for Electric?
Honestly, only thing I can really say is that you've seen the field, you've seen what happened last season, and whoever you had in mind already does get picked. I mean, there's plenty of great drivers out there, so take advantage of whatever you have in this case.
Tiger?
I just have to ask, do you have a list of the drivers you want to pick in case they are taken?
Well, since I'm the third pick and since I need somebody that can help me out badly in these races, because usually you get unlucky here, so I say that the people that are going to be there, I think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be picked up just yet.
Okay. Well, thank you, Electric. Thank you, Masopes. You guys are free to go if you guys want to. If not, feel free to stay. We're just going to break down the draft a little bit. 10 teams, which means 10 drivers will be picked, so this shouldn't take too long here. The order, just to go through the teams, will be Mercedes, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, as Electric just said, Red Bull, the owner is Riley, Ferrari will be Jackson Altman, Mercedes will be LD Allen, Haas will be Hey It's Clay, Alpine will be drafted by Fistbuster, and then rounding out the final 2 picks will be McLaren, which will be myself, and then Aston Martin, which will be the Heredia guy. So, now that we've done the breakdown, we will now tag Masopes, and his pick is live. So he has 3 minutes. From 3 minutes to now, he will DM me the pick, and I'll announce it here.
This is going to be really interesting. First pick, let's see who it could be.
Yeah, Mercedes, they were Allen's team last year, just to give a little insight on that. Allen was really consistent. Allen may not be the quickest driver, but he knows how to get points consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Allen, he's gotten better. He's one of those guys who I think is pretty used to F1, so maybe not like me and Joker, who I think have been watching F1 and playing it for a little bit longer than most of these other drivers. He's learned the game and he's gotten faster, and it's showing in the races right now.
I mean, it definitely showed in the championship race that we saw at Brazil, I believe, and he was really, really improving that race. So yet, expect more from him this season.
Mm-hmm. I've just received word that the pick is in. With the first pick in the Hennessy Performance League draft for Season 3, Mercedes AMG Petronas has drafted the Season 2 F1 champion and Killer XL. There you go.
Not surprised there. Not surprised there. I mean, the man is the champion. I mean, I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty obvious choice. I think it would have been down to a select few, and I think that's really what's going to shape the next few picks. I think we're going to see, I think, a lot of predictability. We'll be able to predict these next few picks, but as we get into like the last 5 or even 6 teams, I don't think we're really going to know who's going to be picked. It's going to be random.
Yeah. Masopes, you're here. Now that it's official, what do you have to say? We'll give you the floor.
Yeah, you know, I think showing that Killer is just a great driver, really funny guy too off the track. I think we get along well. Really excited to work with him this year as my teammate in Formula One. I really think that we're going to get a lot of practice in, and hopefully he can help me improve, and I can help him improve in the areas that we need to improve on. Even though he is a champion, there's some things that he might want to improve on and get better at, and there's definitely a lot of things that I can learn from him as well in that process. So I'm very excited to hit the track at Bahrain.
Yeah, what's the expectation? You have a champion on your team now, so what's the expectation for yourself?
The expectation for myself is to, be a top 5 driver in points at the end of the year. I think that's definitely something I can accomplish. Consistency is going to be key this year, and the first podiums and first wins are definitely going to be there to grab this year, I think, for myself and for Killer.
Okay, thank you, Masopes. Killer is now on AMG Mercedes. I said that wrong, but we're just going to ignore that. So next pick, we'll move over to the AlphaTauri, which will be Mayhem tomorrow. Mayhem was in the Ferrari last year with Jackson Altman. A very disappointing season, to say the least. Mayhem did... Where did he finish? I believe he finished outside the top 10 in points, so I'm sure he's going to be looking for a driver that can really help him improve. There's a lot of good drivers still on this board, so see what he picks.
I think Mayhem really I don't think he's had one of those drivers that can really help him. I think he's really had to learn the game on his own. Not really many people are in good terms with Mayhem, I think. Well, they don't want to really help him, if you know what I mean. They're not trying.
I mean, whoever Mayhem picks, they're going to have to work together with Mayhem and try to be able to prove, especially after a tough season that we saw last year. In the final race, he had his DNF, and yet also with Jackson Altman had a tough race that night. Struggling to say the least for the Ferrari team, and hopefully he'll find someone that can help that and make some improvements.
Yeah, but it's official. We have the second pick for the AlphaTauri. With the second pick in the Hennessy Performance League Racing Series, AlphaTauri Mayhem tomorrow selects Tiger NASCAR, the Season 3 Xfinity Series champion. Tiger, he's in here. How do you feel? Live reaction.
It's good to be in a Honda engine. We'll have to help Mayhem win, which I think we can do that. So hopefully we can improve his pace a little bit more than he is right now, and we'll hopefully be up there in the fighting for the wins.
Now, this will be your first time, if I'm not mistaken, your first time teaming up with Mayhem, correct?
With teammates of Mayhem, yeah, it should be my first time, I think.
Yeah, so you guys have had a little history. It's not really bad blood, but in the Season 1 of Hennessy, you guys had a little rivalry going when they were both into the Cup Series. Do you think that will play a factor now?
I think it's gotten better. It's more of a friendly rivalry now than it was in the NASCAR Season 1. So I think we can get past it, and hopefully we can learn the game together and get better.
Yeah, well, pick 2 is complete. We will now move on to the Haas team, Electric is now on the clock. He has 3 minutes to pick his driver and DM me his pick. A little history on Electric. He was in the Haas last season. Same thing like Allen. Really improved from beginning of the season to the end. Was fighting for points, but more like the 9th to 10th range of points, the lower end of the points. But with a lot of mistakes that the drivers have made over the courses of the races, that he improved. He got a lot of points. He finished 13th in points last year, so he does have some room to improve, but I'm sure with the driver that he picks, he will do that.
Alright, sorry about that. I'm still here, y'all. But definitely got a lot of drivers to be able to be in the field. So, I mean, it's always that anticipation: who's going to get picked up next?
Yeah, it really can be anyone. I believe the top two felt pretty much how they were gonna go. And there it is. I just received the pick.
All right.
And with the third pick in the Hennessy Performance League draft for the F1 Season 3, Electric Days picks Darludo with the third pick. He will go to Alfa Romeo. So, surprise pick from me. Electric, I believe he's in the party. How does that make you feel? What made you pick him?
Well, what made me pick him was what he did in the final races, and I seen the pace that he had, and I really love what he was able to do. Even though he might have got taken out or he might have got wrecked, he still had that same confidence in him to where he can go on to the next race and even stay inside the top three. So I really love what he was able to do. I really think me and him would be a really great duo. I think I can be a top 7 or a top 5 driver each time I race. So I just gotta put more work in.
You know, I do want to point out. I mean, you two had some great battling in that final race. I mean, I'm not really surprised because Darludo showed how much he's willing to do to be able to step in the front. So this is not shocking to me.
Oh, I actually disagree. I thought he was gonna pick Electric Blade.
I thought so too. I thought the electric
were,
combination would, but I
they
was
were
shocked.
working pretty well together in the last few races of the season. But Darludo's a solid driver. He's gonna be up there fighting for the win. So we'll see how it works out.
He's definitely going to bring some tough battles up in the front. That's for sure.
Yeah. But Alfa Romeo is complete. We will now move on to the fourth pick. And no surprise there, it's Riley with the Red Bulls. Riley, same with Allen. He's that midfield type of driver where he will basically be fighting for that 5th to 8th range if he doesn't make any mistakes, which is good. But there's room to improve, and I feel like the next guy he drafts hopefully will be able to help him, even if he's on controller or wheel. Small difference there, but shouldn't matter too much.
No, I mean, Riley can be able to make a team and try to be able to get up there. But I mean, they've had some strong podiums. But I think in Riley's mind, they want to be able to get themselves a win, and that's definitely what they're trying to be able to look forward to for the next season.
Yeah.
Riley's definitely. Yeah, we can go.
The pick is already in. He sent it to me before even we finished Electric's part, but with the fourth pick in the Hennessy Performance League Racing Draft for Season 3, Riley will pick Most Underrated. So, not a shocking pick, but I'm shocked as well. I thought Most Underrated would be a little bit lower than where he was, but I think it's a good pick overall.
I agree. I mean, it's definitely a good pick, and as we see most of these teams be able to go to their brand new teams, working with one another, this could be a really good chance for Red Bull to be able to make some much needed improvements after last season.
Yeah, Most Underrated was really good in Jeddah. It wasn't as strong in Brazil, but only racing those 2 races and only really being one contender in one of them, I'm definitely shocked at this Red Bull. I thought it might have been Electric Blade because we've seen him race more, and he's shown that he's got some serious pace, but it's only a matter of time before Electric Blade is picking.
Yeah, speaking of which, we're now done with the Red Bull team. We will now move on to Ferrari. That's the Jackson-owned racing team. Jackson he was competitive, but he just wasn't consistent enough as Killer, myself, Heredia, Tiger, to put himself in that championship fight. So, what do you think, Tiger? I asked you this one. Where do you think he will go with this pick?
I think it has to be with either Chemical Ninja or Electric Blade. I think those are the only logical. Well, not logical, but I think they're the best choices on the board right now. Yeah, Jackson definitely had some extremely good qualifying pace. His race pace wasn't as good, so that's really his only improvement he needs to make right now is his race pace. And once he can do that, I think he could easily be up there fighting for wins.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, top that off, I mean, during my time, getting a chance to race a little bit, I've seen how struggling Jackson can be involved with some situations. I mean, there's a couple of times where he's had some DNFs. I mean, and they've been really tough on him this season. And he wants to be able to get up there, try to be able to run with you and Tiger. I mean, he wants to be able to make a name for himself, especially when it comes to the F1 series.
Yeah, I believe his pick. I do have the pick, so I will announce it now with the 5th pick in the Hennessy Performance League draft for Season 3. Jackson Altman picks Chemical Ninja. A little bit of a alliance there from the ARC League. I think that's a good pickup. I haven't raced with him myself, but I believe that's going to be a good pickup.
Definitely a good pick for sure. I mean, he knows exactly how this dude is, and they can try to be able to build that team chemistry that they definitely much needed.
Yeah, that's definitely a good pick. Looking at the time trial times that I've seen him post, he looks really fast. Obviously, I haven't seen him race, so I don't know if he's going to be as fast in race pace as he is in qualifying or time trial pace. But if he is like he is in time trial, then it's going to be a very hard to beat Chemical Ninja.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I expect Chemical Ninja to be a championship contender for next season. But we will now move on to the 6th pick, halfway through, and that is the Williams. Allen moving from Mercedes to Williams with the trade with Masopes over the off season. Allen, as we spoke about earlier, very consistent. Don't have to worry about him not getting points.
I definitely think Allen, made a lot of improvements, and I definitely think that, since he moved over to Williams, this could be a great opportunity to be able to make some podiums, try to be able to get those wins. But yet the question is, who's going to be his teammate? I mean, he's scouted through the roster that we have, and I'm wondering what type of driver does he have on his mind, especially with all those picks that's being down right now. I mean, he's got plenty of great picks, but yet that's all up to Allen.
Yeah, I think Electric Blade. I've said it the last few times, but I think Electric Blade will find his home in Williams this season. I don't really see anyone else looking at the draft list, to be honest. But I think they'll be a good duo if he does pick him. We'll see.
As Allen has just sent me his pick with the 6th pick in the Hennessy Performance League Racing Draft. LD Allen has picked, no surprise here, Electric Blade with the 6th pick. So he finally goes off the board. I thought he was going to be higher up, but I believe Allen got a really good pick here.
He definitely got himself a great pick here. I mean, Tiger definitely called it on that one. I mean, he finally got a chance to find himself a team, and congratulations to him.
Yeah, no, that's fun. It's really kind of random who's gonna go with her now. I think Haas is next. I really don't know who's gonna go where now. It's kind of a random guessing game.
Yeah, Haas is owned by It's Clay, so now it's really like, who do you want to pick here?
I mean, I think you're gonna go with someone who's quite recent into the game now, like T-Bird maybe. I really don't know.
I mean,
who races on here.
I mean, there's a lot of drivers in this roster that are still trying to be able to make some opportunities, and Hayes Clay has definitely got a tough position right now, especially with the amount of drivers that's already been picked in this draft.
Yeah, as we're joined by the Williams owner, Alan, what was the thought process when you saw Electric Days pick Darluto with the third pick?
Well, the top three went how I expected. I thought Killer and Tiger would go first, and then Darluto. I think he's probably the fastest of the I don't want to say new people, but kind of joined at the end of the season. And then I expected Electric Blade to go fourth, but he fell all the way to me, so I'll definitely take that. I feel like I got the fourth best guy here, so that's good. I didn't expect most underrated to go that high, and I was gonna take Chemical Ninja originally, but yeah, I got somebody even better than I was expecting, so that's great.
Yeah, not a bad pick overall. Good on you. What's the expectation for the season?
I want a podium. I haven't got one yet. The talent level has got a lot higher, so that might be difficult for me. I think a third in constructors is what we should shoot for. I think to match what Mercedes did last season. I think if I can, with all the faster people that joined, I think I finished like 7th last season. I think that'd be pretty good for me. And we'll see what we can do. It's going to be a lot harder. I can tell you that. A lot harder to score points. Should be fun though. Should be a lot more challenging, which is always fun.
Yeah, I agree. Jake, do you have anything for Alan?
I definitely want to say congratulations on the pick. I feel like you can be able to rebuild yourself and try to be able to work on this new team with the Williams. So I definitely want to say I expect a lot out of you guys this season. So I definitely want to wish you guys the best of luck and try to see what you guys can do.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
So we will now move on to the 7th pick, which will be Hey It's Clay in the Haas. Now it's that point where we really don't know who's going to go where.
And now I look at this list, I think it's going to be one of the newer people that he's going to want to pick. That the free agents at the bottom. The guy who joined earlier, was it Singh H King H Chris? I think it's going to be one of those people because obviously you said that they were around midfield pace, so I think that's where Clay might go.
As Clay has just told me his pick with the 7th pick in the Hennessy Performance League draft. Hey, It's Clay has selected T-Bird. A really shocking pick here for me. I've only seen T-Bird race once, and the time I did was 24 hours ago where he wrecked out. So, maybe he was just sandbagging to make us look like fools, and he's picking a championship level driver, or he maybe just going with a friend here. I believe T-Bird and Clay have experience with each other before in previous leagues, so let's see how that'll go for them.
Anything can happen with this draft, and with those that have been picked, I mean, Clay just doesn't really have much option. So I think, even though everybody's keeping their eyes on Clay, I feel like that he has the ability to be able to make something out of this with the Haas and Force's pick.
Tiger, what do you have thoughts?
We'll see. I think I'm not sure how new T-Bird is to the game, or if he has even played it, but we'll see. It's gonna be. I think he's gonna have to teach him a few things, and if he does, we'll see. It's kind of an ungiven. You don't know what's. T-Bird might end up being like Jarno, who might be the best ever, but it's gonna be one of those things we'll have to wait and find out.
Yeah, I agree. Interesting pick there, in my opinion. Haas was owned by Electric days, but Clay was in the Williams last season where he finished 6th in points, so he was in that midfield battle, so I expect him to be around there as well. Maybe if he can improve, try and sneak into the podium and even look at a race win for a few races, that'll be a really good season for him.
Clay he's been in that midfield for a lot of the past season. He's been up front a few times, mostly in the midfield, so hopefully he can improve and make his way up to the front.
Okay, as we will now move on to the Alpine. Fistbuster owns this team. He was here for a few parts of the races last season. He really ran well at Monaco. One that I'll point out, he finished 2nd there to AK Unleaded, which is really good for him. I think he has a lot of potential to be a championship contender if he can just show up every race. I don't know who he's going with for this pick. Actually just got the pick now, but what do you think? Where do you think Jake or Tiger Fistbuster will go here?
Tiger.
Honestly, I think it's gotta be that it might be one of those newer drivers like Taylor Gonslide. I don't know if he even races anything, to be honest. It might want to be one of those guys. It might be probably, if I were him, I mean, I might take a risk with those free agents, because I don't think he's even seen many of these guys race that are on the board left. So, I might take a risk with one of these guys.
I mean, the way I feel about this is that there's obviously a lot of brand new faces here at Hennessy, and I mean, Fistbuster has to be able to look. I mean, even though he doesn't really know much about any of the drivers that are on the board, I feel like he could be able to try to help him out, try to be able to be that captain and help his teammate out. But I mean, it's all up to him to see who he picks.
Yeah, really interesting pick. The pick is in though. With the 8th pick in the Hennessy Performance League draft, Fistbuster has selected, bear with me on this name, he just joined the league.
King H.
Yes, what Tiger just said. I didn't even want to try and say the name, but he will now be on Alpine.
It was Sing H, King H, Chris.
Probably just have to call him Chris for this. But Chris is on Alpine now, so let's see how that goes for Fistbuster.
Congratulations to Chris on that one, and yeah, I mean, Fistbuster, he's got a lot on his hands, so yeah, we'll see how he does with Chris.
I think Joker, you said that he was midfield pace, that Riley Jackson pace. So I think Fistbuster probably saw that and was like, I don't know anyone else out there, so he's like, that's a good pick for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a bad pickup there. Shot in the dark. He just joined literally about 2 hours before the draft started, so he's taking a shot in the dark, but I tried to put in a good word for Chris there.
It definitely paid off. So, I mean, Chris got drafted, so congratulations to him, and congratulations to Fistbuster. See what they can do.
Yes, so we will now move on to the McLaren team. This is interesting. McLaren has been really... I actually won't do this. Jake, you can have the floor on this section.
But, honestly, plain and simple, McLaren has been incredible with the last season. We've seen how much McLaren has done with the team points, and of course the championship being won by Killer and the McLaren machine. And what more can you say? I mean, Joker and Killer were a dynamic duo in last season, and now, I mean, a lot is going to change now. The question is, who is going to be in the McLaren? We're about to find out. But personally, can they be able to continue that momentum that they had last season?
Yeah, Joker and Killer are probably arguably the best drivers on McLaren, or the best duo on the grid. for the past 2 seasons. At this point, I bet he's raced with a lot of the free agents, so he knows those guys' speed. He knows pretty much everyone is on the speed, so I think he knows exactly where he's gonna go. I don't know where he's gonna go. You probably don't know where he's gonna go.
I mean, that's the beauty. That's the beauty about this draft. It means that Joker has a lot on his plate. In the fact that his teammate, former teammate, and championship driver got drafted at 1. So the question is, who is Joker or who is McLaren going to pick?
Okay, I will announce my pick to myself. With the 9th pick in the draft, for the Hennessy Performance League, I have selected Wang Liquin for McLaren.
Ooh. I mean, you guys have had some pretty good chemistry. I mean, you guys were former teammates in the Cup Series as well. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes,
so,
we were.
You pretty much know exactly what Wang is capable of. So, what made you pick Wang? I mean, was it because the amount of drivers that we had left, or did you fully believed in Wang to where say, hey, I'm gonna pick you?
Well, I just received word about 5 minutes before it was my turn that Wang would do full time if he got the opportunity to, and he ran really well in the exhibition race last night, which really maybe put an eye on him. I think the drivers beforehand in the previous picks, if I somehow would have gotten them, I think I would have taken them, but I'm not mad with this pick at all.
Tiger?
Yeah, Wang has definitely been a good driver. He was here season 1 when we had the presets, and he was solid. But it's gonna be one of those things. It's a risk, but I think it's gonna pay off in the end.
And not only that, but Wang is also not only as a driver, but yet he was also a broadcaster up in the booth with me, and I can really tell you that he's very, very passionate about racing. So I expect Wang and Joker to be able to have a dynamic duo. 2 of the Hennessy's veterans, the OGs of Hennessy, if you call it, be able to team up, work together. I believe Joker and Wang are going to be able to pull off something incredible.
I agree. So we'll now move on to the Aston Martin team. The Heredia God owns this team. Tiger was the driver last year. Big expectations. They were basically toe-to-toe with McLaren throughout the entire season. They actually, I believe, got more wins than McLaren throughout the entire season. I don't know if it was tied or... Yep, actually, Aston Martin did get 5 wins to McLaren's 4. I think big expectations here. I know he got potentially screwed being the last pick and probably having to pick from what everyone else had to throw at him. But I think he will pick a good driver. Tiger, what do you think?
I think he will pick a good driver. I think it's got to be, who is he gonna pick now? It's really hard because he probably doesn't know a lot of these guys as much as you do, Joker, or especially the guys like McCarr who's joined, or who's even played F1 really recently, haven't had a lot of practice. It might be one of those free agents. I really don't know in this one.
The thing is though, is that with Heredia God and yourself last season, you guys battle out with the McLarens and those team points. Yet, it's definitely going to be tough for Heredia. A lot of brand new changes, but the question is though, is who is he going to pick? And I feel like whoever works with Heredia has to be able to learn something from him. He knows his stuff, he knows the situations, and I believe Heredia knows exactly who he's going to pick in this one.
So we do have the pick. The pick is officially in for the final pick in the Hennessy Performance League draft. A very surprising pick here. The Heredia God picks Kenny LaFleur with his
Yeah,
pick.
we'll see. I'm not sure if he's going to be full-time. He said he was racing, so I'm not sure if he will be full-time or not, because I think he was full-time for a split second last season, and then he kind of dipped. So we'll see how it plays out. And I think if he does race full-time, Aston Martin is going to be impossible to beat. It's going to be probably best on the grid.
Interesting comments there. I've seen Kenny do one race. It was at Belgium, and the time I raced next to him, I spun out because I got brake tested. So,
He also raced in Monaco last season. Or was it
okay.
season 1? I think it was season 1 he raced Monaco.
Yeah, as we're joined by Heredia. Heredia, if your voice is being shared, what made you pick Kenny with the final pick?
Let's see. It was a lot of stuff going on, and I knew he got. See, my thing was, I had a plan. I noticed that he went quiet, very quiet, but like like I don't know. I know he just went quiet. I know he's a good driver, and I know him very well. We're pretty good friends. So like he messaged me one day and he said that he could do it, and it just got together and we started, blah blah, and I just picked Kenny. There we go. He's now an Aston Martin, and I'm very happy.
Yeah, a very shocking pick for myself since I messaged Kenny and he didn't answer. So, but big expectations. What's the expectations for you already as a team owner?
To be honest with you, my expectations just get into the season, just finish every race, fight for points. It doesn't really matter if I win a championship or not. Just have fun. I'm just happy that I have a teammate at least. It's fine, and learn my wheel. I'll be fine. And bang, move on.
Yeah, I agree. Jake, what do you have for Heredia?
Well, I definitely do say, we've seen how incredible you and Kenny work together outside of F1. You guys are very good friends, and the question is that, do you think that friendship with Kenny will help you guys play along with the season to be able to help one another, especially when it comes to, the Aston Martin crew? I understand, the whole situation, but yet, do you feel like you can be able to make something out of Kenny when it comes to this season?
Kenny. Oh, what did you say? Something I forgot. You understand what you did?
Okay, I'm asking you, because of the friendship you and Kenny have, do you think that will help you guys out to be able to help one another in this season?
Of course. He can learn stuff from me. I can learn stuff from him. Because, friendship, better bond, better communication, everything. It's fine like that,
Yeah, very well said. Very well said.
Yeah, well, we're about to wrap things up here. So, I've seen a few questions. There is no F2 draft. It will be first come, first serve for anyone prioritizing the drivers who do not get picked. So if you can make the races on, I believe it'll be Monday, then you will have the first choice to pick in that one and secure your seat there. The season will begin on January 7th at Bahrain. No surprise there. We will have a 15-week schedule. We start the season off at Bahrain, then we go to Imola, then we start off with Portugal, Spain, and Monaco, the famous Monaco race. Then we go to Azerbaijan, Canada, Austria, then we go to the hometown race in Silverstone, we go to the Netherlands, we go to Monza, we don't go to Imola twice, it looks like that on the spreadsheet though. We go to Russia, and then we go to the US of A, Brazil, and then we end off the season at Abu Dhabi. The time for the F2 race will be at 8:30 p.m. EST, so similar to the Cup times. Like if you were in the Cup Series on Mondays and Thursdays. For F1 on Fridays, that'll be every Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern, so that'll be 7 o'clock for me, so I don't have to go to bed early. Yeah, like Riley. But that is it. Any other questions you have, feel free to say it in the F1 chat or tag myself or Riley. But Jake, any last thoughts? Tiger, any last thoughts?
Honestly, I feel like this season is definitely going to be a very great one, and I do want to say congrats to all those that have been drafted, and definitely look forward to seeing you guys back out on the racetrack.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more competitive than it was in the last few seasons, I think. And other than that, I got nothing.
Okay, well, I'm always Joker. Thank you, Jake and Tiger, for joining me, and thank you to all 10 owners, including myself, and all the drivers participating in tonight's draft. First race will be next Friday, so at Bahrain, so everyone has time to practice, get used to their teammates, and get ready to crown the Season 3 champion. With that, we will end things off, and we will see you guys at Bahrain. See ya.